In today's video, we have Jalen Ramsey's helmet from the Dolphins, and stay tuned to see how we build this thing for ourselves, figure out how I actually got Jalen's actual face mask for this, and how this whole thing almost got ruined. Now, no, this is not Jalen Ramsey's actual helmet from the Dolphins, but this is the closest replica to his helmet in the world, including Jalen's actual face mask. All right, backstory. So last year we made a video about Jalen Ramsey's equipment breakdown, and it was by far one of our most popular videos of the year. So we took the face mask section and posted it as an Instagram reel. Well, Jalen found that clip, commented on it, and hinted that he'll have something special in store for his new Miami Dolphins teammates. Well, then we posted that as well. Now, if you don't know anything about Jalen Ramsey, he's one of the most popular players in the league. He went from the Rams to the Miami Dolphins in the offseason this year and has missed the majority of this season with an injury, but he just recently came back. Now, aside from being a ball hawk and one of the hardest hitting guys in the league, he's also an equipment junkie. Every single thing that he wears on the field has a crazy level of detail that he goes into to make sure it's exactly the way he wants it. From the engraving on the inside of his gloves, to the cleats he chooses, to even his custom face mask. This dude's an equipment nerd just like us, but it's just a little different because he's in the league and I'm in my spare bedroom. Anyway, so after all that, we decided, how are we gonna take this to the next level? How do we build on this? How do we do something cooler for you guys and cooler for us? Well, we started talking to our friends over at Green Gridiron and decided, instead of always making videos about Jalen's helmet and how it looks on the field, what if we just had it in our hands? So today we've partnered up with Green Gridiron to show you guys every single detail on Jalen Ramsey's helmet. And if you did want to make a replica for yourself, this is everything you need to do it. First piece you're going to need is a helmet. Now, Jalen Ramsey wears a Riddell Speedflex helmet. And obviously it can't just be any Riddell Speedflex, it has to be a Miami Dolphins Speedflex. Now, you could go out and just buy a white Riddell Speedflex and use that as your base for this, but it'll be missing that iconic pearl that the Miami Dolphins has. And also you can't just go and buy NFL packs of Miami Dolphins decals, stripes, all that stuff. The NFL prohibits teams from using any of their logos and selling this stuff separately. So if you do want to get a Miami Dolphins Speedflex, you're going to have to buy an NFL licensed replica helmet of the Speedflex. And lucky for us, NFL is partnered with Riddell, so all of the replica helmets are already as a Speedflex. So yes, it's not cheap to buy, but it is easy to pick up. That Miami Dolphins Speedflex is going to be our base for this helmet. Every single product that we're talking about will be linked in the description down below, most of them by our partner Green Gridiron. All right, next up is going to be chin strap. Now, Jalen has always worn a SportStar Victory T-Rex Hurricane XD chin strap. He uses cam locks on the bottoms, which comes standard with a Riddell Speedflex, and strap locks at the top. And of course, we have tons of these chin straps on hand already because they're super popular in the NFL, very widely trusted, very good protection. It's really no surprise he's rocking with this one too. Now, on top of that, we have a DryMax Chinsaver chin strap cover. Now, if you missed it, we actually put out a video recently about DryMax, how their chin strap cover works, the antimicrobial materials, why so many NFL teams trust it. It features both an insane amount of moisture wicking technologies and also has special materials woven into the fabric to keep you dry and keep out bacteria. Legit, the technology is pretty crazy just in such a simple product. You should go watch that video. Now, I can't confirm if Jalen is in the original Chinsaver or the new EZ Chinsaver, which has a little strip of Velcro, which makes it easier to take on and off. But because he's an equipment guy, I'm assuming he's in the newer one. So that's what we're going to use for this video, the DryMax Chinsaver EZ chin strap cover. All right, next up is his visor setup, and there's a couple different pieces to this. Now, he's wearing the Oakley Pro visor in some form of smoke, really hard to tell. This is one of the darkest legal visors allowed in the league, and it's an Oakley Pro visor because it's on a Riddell Speedflex. He's wearing white, unbranded Oakley visor clips, and when they're wearing their throwback uniforms, he switched out those white ones for gray ones. But this isn't a throwback helmet, so we're doing the white. Next up is going to be Visor Tabs. Now, as you guys know, the NFL signed a new deal with Oakley this year to be an on-field licensed sponsor for, I think, what, 7 years? And that means Oakley actually switched up the tabs on their visors. So if you buy an Oakley visor right now for yourself, you're just going to get the Oakley tabs which just have the Oakley logo. But an NFL player's visor tabs will have the word Oakley right below the logo. This is something the public can't just get, so I had to go out to a customizer and get custom visor tabs made in this colorway. All right, next up is Mouthgaurd. And I'm not gonna lie, this one is super tricky. Now, normally he's just wearing some kind of unbranded Soother style lip guard, mouth guard with a tether. There's a bunch of different brands that make them, and he's worn them in a couple different colorways. Now, we know in the past when he was on the Rams, he was wearing a Vedex in yellow, but we don't really know now on the Dolphins because he's wearing a black one. Now, judging from the vent holes on the side, it looks like a Battle Speed mouth guard that he basically just scraped the Battle logo off. That's what we're doing. So it's gonna be a Battle Speed mouth guard in black, tethered, unbranded. A couple other small details you'll have to make to this base Riddell Speedflex. The Dolphins use a teal warning logo on the back, so you're gonna have to swap out the standard one that comes on the helmet and switch it in for this teal. Again, we picked these up at Green Gridiron. They're super cheap. Because Jalen is number 5, it's worn on the back right side of the stripe on the helmet, so we had a custom little number 5 made in their colorway. And we also had to upgrade the bumpers because on the Dolphins Riddell Speedflex, they never show the Riddell logo. They only ever show Miami Dolphins stuff, so we had to upgrade the front and back bumpers to match. Now, at this point, that's most of the accessories you're gonna need for this, but there's one very important one we haven't talked about yet, the face mask. Now, if you do do this for yourself, our build is gonna be a little different from yours because we do have a Jalen Ramsey face mask here, except ours isn't just a replica custom that we got remade. As you guys know, this is actually Jalen Ramsey's face mask. This specific face mask in our hands here is actually the first rendition of the custom face mask Jalen started to wear on the Rams. This is the original. Now, I did make a short about this face mask a little bit ago before we got it recoated, and I told everyone I would eventually tell the story, so here it is. Now, a couple months ago, I actually made a short about this face mask and said I would eventually tell everyone how I got my hands on it, and even Jalen Ramsey commented on it. So here's a quick version of the story. I reached out to BA Mask when we started this project and asked him to make me a replica of Jalen Ramsey's face mask, which he started to work on. Now, Jalen's original face mask was made by him, so I wanted to pay honor to that and have it made by BA Mask. He agreed and got to work. Now, before that, Jalen Ramsey left the Rams in the offseason and went to the Dolphins. Now, when Jalen decides to leave the Rams equipment manager sends the original face masks from the Rams to the Dolphins so they can have it recoated from blue to white and they can use it. The Dolphins equipment manager gets the face mask in his hands, realizes it's a little bent, probably not worth saving, and decides to just get a new one made. At this point, with no need for it, the Dolphins equipment manager sends it back to BA Masks, the original owner. Now, all of this is happening in the background as the season starts, and BA Masks texts me and says, do you want Jalen Ramsey's original one for yourself instead of the new one I'm building you? And of course, I said yes. So we get the masking for ourselves, we make a quick short about it, we verify all the nicks and dings on it in the original Rams blue colorway, and realize it is the exact one he was wearing on the Rams. I take some photos and videos to commemorate the original state, and then I put it back on a plane and send it to Green Gridiron to get it recoated in white for this build. In my hands here is Jalen Ramsey's original face mask that started all the stuff around the custom face masks, and this thing here has traveled 12,000 miles just the last month. Do I regret taking all the dings and all the wear out and leaving it the original Rams blue colorway and switching it out for a fresh bright white? Yes. I wish I could have just left it as is and had it as like a collector's edition thing. Just a really cool piece to have in my studio. In fact, he literally won a Super Bowl in this face mask. Having said that, I already committed to making this video, and if I wanted this to be a Jalen Ramsey helmet, I already had the mask to do it, so I decided at this point, I'm gonna get it recoated exactly the way he would have done when he was still on the Dolphins if it was usable quality. If you disagree with what I did, leave a comment down below and let me know how bad I fucked this thing up. But at least at this point, I can say that with my replica helmet we're building, it is the most accurate replica helmet in the world because it has Jalen Ramsey's actual face mask on it. So that's the final piece. Let's put this entire thing together now. All right, it's done. You're crazy to think if I'm not gonna try it on to finish this video. Cheek pads are a little full, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little hard, but this is pretty dope. This is what it's like to be Jalen. Honestly, this thing is so sick. I am so happy with how this came out. I'm so happy to have this thing in my collection now, and I'm hoping one day I can actually show Jalen this thing for myself, but who knows if that'll ever happen. Now, there are a couple things that are a little wrong with this that I found along the way. Number one, on the side here, these are actually supposed to be white, but I, turns out, only had black. Also, the visor. I could not get this visor to fit on here for the life of me. I tried for an hour trying to get this thing to sit on here. I could not get the clips to sit where they have it. All the reference photos show this visor sitting up higher, but that does not work with where the clips are. So I have no idea how they're using these clips with this visor. I could not get it to fit to save my life. So I basically have them on here for show, but this visor could fall out. It's pretty much sandwiched in here. Wouldn't play a game with it undone like this, but I have no clue how he did it. Other than that, I am super happy with how this helmet turned out, and I am excited to find out from you guys what you think down below. Now, before we talk about how this project actually got ruined, let's go through the cost. Riddell Speedflex, $700. Chin strap, $50. DryMax Chinsaver cover, $15. Mouthgaurd, $20. Visor, $65. Visor Tabs, $20. Visor Clips, $15. My decals, $5. The face mask itself, if you got this custom made to match, $415. Yeah, that's $1,300. It cost me US to build this. I'm Canadian, by the way. This thing cost me like 1,500 bucks. So yeah, was not a cheap video to make. So if you did like today's video, please hit the like button. Now, before I tell you guys how this video actually got ruined, please subscribe. We put out 2 videos every single week. We love everything football. We have our podcast, all the different things we have going on in here, and we're trying to grow this thing. So if you did enjoy today's video, especially the amount of time and money I put into it, please subscribe down below. So after all that, everything we did, all the research, all the time, months into this, How did it get ruined? Well, like I talked about, Jalen recently came back from his injury, so all of our reference photos of his Speedflex came from training camp this year. But when he came back from that injury recently, he was no longer in a Speedflex. He was in a Shut F7. Some point in that injury process, he decided to change helmets. Same face mask, same visor, same everything else, but it's the wrong helmet. Mine's still cool though.